CTV is now confirming that the Governor General has resigned. Julie Payette has resigned. It comes amid a probe into harassment at Rideau Hall, a probe that was completed, CTV learning today. There were a number of people who came forward with allegations against the Governor General, talking about a toxic workplace environment, talking about harassment and verbal abuse that went on. That triggered an investigation into what happened. And we've got Laurie Williams standing by in Calgary with more on this. Laurie, good to have you on amid this breaking news. Appreciate your time. What do you make of this? Julie Payette resigning as Canada's Governor General.
Well, I think as soon as the news broke of the report, she was in an untenable position. Her authority, her reputation as respect to being a Governor General was materially damaged by these findings, an independent review actually confirming the allegations that have been reported for some time. And surely the Prime Minister would have sought some means of removing her from office had she not resigned. Likely she's hoping to remove this from the front pages as quickly as possible. Although it looks like her staff support is looking to consult with a law firm, perhaps to seek some kind of wrongful dismissal or something like that along those lines. We'll see what happens with that. But it looks for the moment like Julie Payette simply has recognized this is incredibly damaging for her and for the office of the Governor General, and she's doing the right thing in stepping down.
Tell me about the implications here for Julie Payette, for the office itself.
Well, the biggest damage, of course, in terms of what concerns Canadians, if these investigations are revealing true information, then of course Canadians want the person responsible for the harassment that has been investigated and confirmed. They want that harassment to stop. They want the government and the Office of the Governor General to function properly and fairly. So that will have been accomplished. But it certainly will again raise questions about what exactly are we doing as Canadians paying all these tax dollars to a Governor General? Why do we even need this in place? So those who question whether we ought to have a constitutional monarchy, whether there ought to be a role for a royal figure or representative in our government, I think those questions will be raised again. But at the very least, I think it will prompt a review of the kinds of things that are done by governors general, by lieutenant governors, what kinds of expenditures they have access to, and perhaps rearrangement of the office so that this sort of thing can be prevented in future.
Yeah.
That's likely one of the things that the Prime Minister is going to look to try to limit the damage to his government.
Speaking of the Prime Minister, I mean, what are the implications for the Trudeau government here, Laurie?
Well, of course, this raises questions about the Prime Minister's judgment. Now, not knowing that somebody had these sorts of problems could be something that could be claimed in other circumstances. But there were reports of problems under Julie Payette in her previous work. And so the fact that there was information suggests that perhaps the government didn't do all that it should have done, didn't do its due diligence in finding out whether or not she was actually a suitable candidate for the Governor Generalship. So that question of judgment, of political judgment, of proper vetting of appointees, that's all going to come back on the Prime Minister. And so I would expect the response to be some way of ensuring that there are better protocols before appointments are made, and also that there are significant changes in the ways that the Governor General's office operates, the kinds of funds they have, and how those are expended in order to prevent something like this from happening again.
She took over from David Johnston in early October of 2017, so not quite 3.5 years in this role. Constitutionally, what does it mean?
Well, because she's resigning, it doesn't have any impact at all. Had she not resigned, then I think we would have been in a bit of limbo. There were a few options available. Asking the Queen to appoint a new Governor General was one of the choices available. So we haven't had a lot of experience with removing a Governor General historically. So had she not resigned, I think there would have been more significant questions in terms of what should happen. Not that the government didn't have any choices at all available to it. It's just a question of what would be the one that would work best. Would Justin Trudeau be able to secure the cooperation of the Queen in accomplishing his objectives, or would he have to go by another route?
Laurie Williams in Calgary. Yeah, Laurie, last thoughts?
Just the big problem, I guess, for Justin Trudeau is it's raising questions both about his judgment and about what governors general can do with impunity and how to manage things so that this sort of problem doesn't recur.
Thank you for this, Lori. Great to get you on so quickly. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Tom.
All right.